Hi, how are you? Okay, first I want to see this first screen, and let's think like this. For example, this will show everything, no matter what key, if I'm free, if I'm pro, if I'm nothing, because if it's pro, when I try, will have this little sticker. So when I try to open and I have a free key, I enter like a free user. So when I click here, will open. Here said you have to upgrade. I will send you the design. You have to upgrade to use the prof templates, and this will be free because don't have any sticker. If we click here, pro free, we see only the free ones. These we don't see the pro. If we click pro, we see only the pro, and if we click all, we see all. That's it. We don't this the only limit have with the key is that this will not let me in. This will not let me in my free user. We'll have two levels. One level free, one level pro for the templates. We don't have templates for pro, templates for advanced. We have two, free and pro. So the same here. When I save a template, for example, from here I select save template. So here I put the name, the circus, and here I choose the plan. We need free plan and pro. That's it. We don't need premium. Can be there, but we don't need. And when I use pro, we'll have this before the name. That's all, and will not let me in with a free key. I think is clear. Another thing is this is too big. It's almost touching the borders. It can be smaller, the B, to be more little. Okay, so this is this part. Okay, now the next part, I think it's a little new, complicated maybe, but I did it the most clear I can. Okay, so we have in the license, we have free, that we don't need keys, so there's nothing to do with the license. We have the pro and advanced. Two levels of that we need key. Pro, advanced. Administrator. Why I need administrator? I need administrator because, well, now I can close this, but there are many well, okay, here, because save save slide, no, save text like a block, second template, all these are functions of the administrator. So I will need to do it only me, and we'll need one key. I will show you later. Okay, so we have pro and advanced. What is the difference between free, pro and advanced? This is what we are going to see. Okay, for example, this is an option to an example of when I want to download. I will be this option for free, but if I enter free and I don't have pro version or not advanced, this I can't use. I will click again, will open the pop-up, the same pop-up always. Upgrade if you want to use special features, I don't know. Okay, so different features for the three levels. So I put like this, for example, watermarks on the videos will be in free version and no in Pro, no in Advanced. Resolution like this for free monthly, for Pro. You don't need monthly, it's not. And for full, this. Voice recorder will be for all. Camera eye will be for all. Draw effect will be for all. Time video, how much time large can the video have? For the free version 3 minutes is the limit. For Pro 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Then lip sync will be not for free, will be only for Pro. Text to slides also for Pro. Effect creator would be for Pro and for Advanced also. No, all what is here and it's like advancing. So always what we have here we have also in Advanced. Also create a group will be Pro and Advanced. Text to speech, yes, yes. And now easy curve creator will be only for Advanced, is this part that we use here. All these this part where we can change, we create, we custom our easy the curves, apply. All this part will be only for Advanced. Record real time is this. We need to close. Record real time is this. Start movement recording. Free camera. Okay, binding we are going to see next, but also is only for this. Kinetics, if we can do it, will be only for this. Music tracks unlimited is for these two. Support number of characters per month new, and this will be the same. So I will send you this. If you don't know what I'm referring, you can ask and I tell you, but I think you know everything about this, all the features. Okay, so these are the features for the 3 levels. And you see, for administrator, maybe one key could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. So in this case, I will need all these buttons. I see only I see these buttons. The users don't see these buttons. Only the administrator. Okay. And now I try it, and no of the keys that is generating is working. Here I send you some examples you can try, and the license key is not valid giving from here. Okay. Now this is important, because when I open, I explained in the last video that here, okay, is okay now, but sometimes it's not like this number. Well, okay, maybe our old project. Let me see. New project. Yes. From scratch. Yes. You see, 1280 is not this number. Also here, 1280. No, always have to be this number, and the idea is to don't show any number. So we can do like this. In this part, to put this, when it's deselected, is 1920 for 1080. When it's deselected, the vertical, this will be 1 second. Vertical. Vertical will be the same, but the contrary, the numbers. So will be 1080 plus 1920. So the other way, like this. First is like this, the other is like this, and the square is 1920 for 1920. I put it here, you see. 1920 is this, 1 for 180 is this, and 1 for 1 is this. These are the three. So here we have the three. We know in the background, in the back end, that what's the number of pixels for everyone. Okay, will be like this. 1, 2, 3 squares, one like this, one vertical, one square. Okay, but we have two options, and we don't see this number, the camera. We don't need to see the size of the camera. It's something we know, but will always go together with the size of the canvas. It's always the same, always. Only if someone clicks custom video size, because they want a specific very different size from 19. This is the limit, never can go up from this down. So if they click custom video size, then they can custom these numbers, they can see the numbers. If they click custom canvas size, the same, they can edit the canvas size. This can be good because maybe the camera will stay at the same size at this number, and I make bigger the canvas so I can work with more space. But this is only for special occasions that someone wants a custom size for the video or for the canvas. Always the render is the video size, also for the canvas, also for the video. We don't fix these things for the render, only use the video size. Okay, so now we are going to move to simple things, more simple. Okay, here in this case, in pulse, we have in the style, we have very difficult to make a smaller number. For example, this, I choose this and keyframe. Where is pulse? Oops. Just looking for this, I found a new bug. If I put name, if I go from this to this, well, was closing, I don't know. Well, now it's okay. You see, it's closing the application. Know why. Okay, so here is the pulse in the keyframe in the back. Here, pulse. So this is going to make, after getting here, it's going to make here a pulse, zooming, this is the pulse, but I want the size to be bigger, so I move. It's okay. It's okay, sorry. I know the seconds, because you see these are 2 seconds, and if I want, let's say, it's very difficult to make 2 seconds, 1 second and a half, and I have 100 seconds. 100 seconds is 3 minutes. It's too much. Maybe this slide can go from 0 I don't know, to 10. Yes, from 0 to 10. This is something interesting, is to make the life of the user easier. For example, I choose this, and I have here a keyframe, and I want to use pulse, so I have to click, I have to put the seconds, put the motion, and now I can see it. But maybe when we click pulse, we already have maybe here 1 second, zoom, and motion size 1. So only doing this, the user can see the result. Don't need to put everything from scratch to have default these 3 things. Okay, this is difficult to explain, but we are going to try. Here we have 2 functions. One is that the camera eye, and another is the binding. Okay, so we don't have this is showing, for example, if I select this, is showing this binding, but really there is no binding yet. So these have to be hide by default, hide. Okay, now let's see camera. This is hide. So now I apply camera eye, and now yes, this makes sense. No. Also is hide, still hide. Now I choose the camera, and now I see this to see the camera view with the elements. Only when is this selected. When I close, this disappears. This is for the camera eye. Simple. This is hide, only open when we have this. Now we are going to see how to make the binding part. The first things we need is to have something bind to another. So let's say this symbol we have now here is the binding symbol. For example, an icon like this, only to imagine, like a sun, something like that. Okay, we have here, we don't see it, but after now I okay, let's see, we don't have camera eye. I bind this to this one, back. Now there is some binding in the scene, so we will see the sun here. When we click, when we select this object, no, yes, so it's like this. Sorry because it's difficult to explain. Okay, so now we have two object bind. This is the father, the main, this is the other. So when I select the father one, we see the sun here to see where is the influence. If we don't have this selected, we don't see the sun here, so there is normal. Okay, so when I select the father, I see here, so I can see the relation with the others, and I thought maybe the father, you see, this is very nice, is what you did here. We choose here that you put a little square with the color. This is very little, very nice. So I wanted to see if we can put to the father, now I close, to the father of all the elements, that is this, can be in this, like, I imagine like a little like a snake, little snake, or maybe a circle of color, a circle with red color, for example. The same circle, the same like you did here. The square, but red, or yes, red. So this go everywhere where is the main, the father of all the bindings, because this way we can find easily this. Open the sun here, I open and I can see where are the other objects, and close. So that's it for the binding. A binding, the father has a little icon, red, a square red, a circle red, what you want, all the time. So when I want to change the parameters, I select it and I can set up from here, or I can set up from here. That's it. But there is something important about the binding that is not similar to the camera. I'll show you now. Really, the binding have positive and negative. Just now, it's not a new feature. For example, this means that this, well, let's take the animation. Okay, where it is now. Okay, so let's say this is binding to this. Yes, it's already bind. Okay, so this is bind. This is bind to this. Okay, so now what happened? If we see the setup, you see we have minus. This means that when this go from one place, the other ones go the contrary. In that case, this is not responding to the minus. Let me see. Setup -1. The question is how with this how can I say, this drawing, this scheme, how can I go from minus to positive? I can't. No, this is not affecting only when it's minus. For example, here is -2. Well, sorry for all this time, but this is not responding to the influence this make to this. In movement, basically in movement, in scale, the distance. If we put it in the center, then the distance can be negative or positive. So it's like moving like this or like this. This is negative. Let's say this. And this is positive. They go to the same size. Okay, this part is difficult to explain about the binding, and well, I will try to be clear. Okay, now we have a scene with one thing moving to this side from there to the middle, and make it bigger to smaller. So what we are going to do now is we are going to bind this to this. So what this is going to do, let's see, we are going to delete bind. We only leave bind with zoom, but we don't need to explain that it's with zoom. So this go away and this will be only bind. Okay, so I click this and I bind to there. Okay, so now let's see what's doing the other object is doing the contrary of the is, instead of going to the right, it's going to the left. It's going, instead of going to smaller, it's doing the same. Okay, so it's doing the same in size, but the contrary on movement. This means that if we check this, we see movement -1, rotation 1, 1, 1. Perfect. So what happened now if I choose this and I go up? So now the influence is less because it's but the direction still the same, still doing the same zoom and the same direction, the contrary direction. If we check here, we see now that this is minus because it's the contrary, and this is the scale is little, is less because it's half, and stay the same. But what happens if I want that the movement will go together with the object, not to the other side, to the same size, to the same direction? From here I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it because I can't go down the object. The best I can do is to make very big influence. So when we check this, we see a big number 2, but never we see this positive, always negative. That's why I think for binding we need the object in the center, to have this drawing here and the lines going like this. If I move, now let's imagine here is an icon. If I go here, from here to here, I'm going positive. This, I'm following the object. If I go from the object to down, I'm going negative. So the influence is the other way. It's the same. It really is not another feature. Is to make this to work like this from for binding, but for camera we never have negative because never goes contrary to the camera eye. But in this case we have a positive and negative. So we'll go from here to here or from here to here. That's it. It's only to change this to match this. It's only for the movement. And the scale always follow the movement. The scale follow the movement. I have a better idea. Maybe is less complication and can be like this. Let's imagine this. We need to change the icon for a sun. This can be dynamic. You change when it's, I don't know, but we need to change. But instead of putting in the middle, we have one here that is called movement and one that is called zoom. Always the scale is the same number of the zoom. But we can choose follow, no, the word is follow or positive or negative. so will be like this. 1 second. So can be like this, to have always the same. Here we put an icon different like the camera, and if the movement you want to be positive or negative to go with the bind object or the contrary, this is follow, this one is doing the contrary, the scale on the contrary, and now we can use the same graphic. Only what we are going to do is when this have scale positive, the scale will be positive. When here we have negative, we click, this is blue now, so this will have here a minus, and if movement is contrary, we'll have here also negative. I think it's a better solution to don't have to put in the middle and have to do all again. It's the same, only with the add of the negative if depends of the direction. Hi. Okay, now are more simple things. For example, you see now it's a circle down, then we have the word there, what is each one, insulate, move forward, move, I don't know, now we see only a circle like here. Okay, then when we choose the camera, for example the eye camera, I can delete the eye camera. When we choose the free camera, there is no way to delete it. Maybe the same button can change to close free camera. Here it's like this, or here can be attach free camera, delete free camera, camera eye, delete camera eye. Okay, some way to disable this. Okay, one thing that is not necessary really, but for example this I put to make this an effect. 2 minutes, 1 minute. Okay, so really this line is changing, you see, with more this, I mean when I put more time is more, when I put less is less. This with this is the same, but maybe it's possible to drag the time with this line to move there, and so this move up, to move slower, to be like more intuitive, not so to put numbers here. But it's not important, it's only if it's possible, it's not complicated to have this to move, it's not important. Then you see, maybe there are some computers that are little than this one. So for example, when I begin to, let's say he has a computer like this, the camera disappears. Let's go inside. So maybe when it's like responsive, to go down, to appear down, not to disappear from the from everywhere. So this part will begin to enter here when or to compress. No, but to compress is very difficult. This part when it's very small, go here, a second line. Okay, about kinematics, I have another idea. Maybe it's simpler than the other because it's only one text. For example, I have this text here, and instead of putting here looking for it, putting the exact settings, I have one sentence options. It's possible, so if I have this, I don't know how to select, or I drag this over the text, or I just select this without the box of text to slide. So this is put to this, very easy, the one sentence. So if this is possible, it's easy to save, to put one, have it the same text. For example, if I have here the text, good morning, when I apply this to this, have to respect this text. So that's the only thing. Have to record this text and apply to this. I think we did when we have here presets. What's the same thing is to put the same thing happening here to this. So for example, let's say I have this, I select this, tuck. Now this will be a alert saying, are you sure you're going to lose all the settings of this element? Yes. So now I don't know if do all this, I don't know how, but now this have this effect, and people will like it because they don't have to think too much here to put things. But one thing is important, if you can do, not to put together with the kinematics we use for the text to slides. Really, this we don't need to see all the time, because it's only necessary for the text to slide. So we don't need a tab for this. This open can be hide in a hide tab, and open when we choose the text to slide. But for this, for one, yes, all that have one sentence only will be in one visible tab. So without this blue, without this, all this work for text to slides. But you take all the animations here, all the one sentence, and we make a new tab that is called kinematics, and we'll apply the effects to one text. I don't know if it's clear, but I think so. One thing I was testing. No, it's okay. Okay, this is a very small thing to move loop size to another square. This loop size to put another one called loop, and mask and motion blur will be together. Mask and motion and mask is okay, but the loop in another new one. Here when I put a text, by default is showing the background is black, you see, but really it's not black, it's transparent. To be like a line, maybe instead of black, to have like a little line red, white, and a little line red that is not no background, instead of black, like this. Also here, if it's possible, for example, I choose now, I decide, no, okay, better without background. How can I take it out? So if we have here this square, we can take it out with this, tuck, clicking there. Okay, now text to slides kinematics, and also classic. What it's doing is to put the text in the middle of the page, big. It will be the center. But sometimes I want images happening here and I want the text down, smaller, maybe 70% or 80%, small, to go down. So I click here and the text will be here. If I want in the top, here. No, we don't need so many. Top, medium, down. 3 places, and want to put like a subtitle here or a top here or in the middle big. Then we can have, this is the position. Then we can have big is the normal we have now, medium is a little smaller, let's say 70, small is half, very little. And if we can choose font here, maybe it's too complicated. Well, leave it without font, Only these sizes, if we can be good, because it's a group, so you can make group smaller, bigger, medium, smaller, and to put in the position. Okay, here when you choose to see all the screen, for example, you have this, and you choose like this, it's too much, because now we don't have where is the border. Maybe a little of space from the size to have some control over where we are. I think now is matching. For example, the height. So if the height, both have to be inside with a little border. Can't happen to be like this, because like this we don't know where finish the canvas. I mean, when I click here, both have to be inside. So the maximum size have to be inside. Okay, here when we put a large text inside fonts, here we put here a lot of text, the scroll is very little to see it. It can be a little bigger. Okay, in text to slides there is something that is a problem if there is more than 4. For example, I put here the marker and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 3 is the limit. So when I click here, okay, click kinematics, click here, is given an error and it's not doing correctly. It's doing one text here. So have to be like a alert that if there are 3 texts, can't do it. If there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the user put here a mark, have to say click here, open. No, 3 it's the maximum number of lines. And here in classic is something strange happen. For example, it's not letting me doing never. Every time it's asking me to choose. Let me see, choose. Because I didn't create. But here, text to slide, you see now, classic. I have to go to kinematics to go back, and then appears this. This have to appear by default and down here. No need to go back. Okay, here in text to slides I have here this that is jumping inside the screen, so I paste this text, I choose this, create, is creating, but it's not adding the text, the effect is static, it's not grabbing the same animation in the classic. Here, no, here in the classic. Okay, here in the backgrounds, in the second, for example, I choose this, set only for the current slide or for all slides. So let's say we choose for the current slide. Okay, this is the background. By here I have another background, so I choose, and now I have not 2 times. Okay, so we have 2 backgrounds. This we delete. Okay, so I put this background to all the slides. Okay, this. But now I say, I don't like it. Too many flowers, too many this. Okay, let's choose this. It's working very well. It's okay, very well. That's what I wanted to ask, to delete the other and put the new one, but it's doing excellent. Okay, about the voices to text to speech, the 5 is not working. The English mail, this is not working. And this is a woman. English mail 2 is a woman. And then the languages, if we choose down, it's more is here. Text to speech. Here, if we choose Spanish, is Spanish. If we choose German, German is French. Italy is German. Russian is Italian. French is Spanish. So have to fix the names. Here have to be exact the name. Here in Solate, for example, is if I choose this, it's okay. Okay. In where is lip sync? Let me see 1 second, sorry. Lip sync is 2 times, so we can delete this. And I thought that maybe this word sounds, we don't need it. We can delete this word. And these squares of emotions, if we move all the square down to have effect creator, then the 2 blocks, and then all the rest. So to move these 2 blocks down with the line, no? Line, emotion, all this, but here. Okay, and now this part of the sounds, because sounds is all now compressed in one thing, that is sounds, but we need three things. We need one voices, one music, and one effects. Have to be three parts with this. So voices will be all here, all the voices we put and all the voices the user add voice here. You see, add voice, text to speak. Oh, then if the user want to add music, we have another title, add music, and all music. Then effects, add effect. Really is the same but it's another folder. Effects, and here we add all the effects, so it will be more clear, because now we have one voice, one music, one text, one effect. All together is not nice really. And well, looks like this about the volume. It's like this. For example, let's say I choose this guy and I put lip sync, and I choose this voice is here. I hear, and it's too low, too high, the volume. We don't have anywhere how to make down the volume of this. So I thought maybe to have here first to put a line here in styles that is nothing to do with this style, and here instead of sound to put volume and to put something similar to a slider and a number. The same here if we put this music to the line 1. Here we have an option to download, make it lower the music with this line. I don't know. Like this, making the music low with this. But can be also one more easy, that can be like this. Open here, and here we have pitch and volume, the same thing, and to move higher or lower. So in sound options, pitch, volume, this slider can be also here for text for lip sync, and we control the volume for all the scene, and to move this, yes, I told you to move this here. This is done. There was here one that was videos. If we can put it back, maybe we need it. The videos. Okay, and then we need to. I have a question. Okay, this here, there is one that is change license. Is opening this, but we are going to do it when we have all this part ready, because now we don't have licenses, nothing. And then let me see one more. Import media. If I remember, I can move all my information to your computer, all the animations, everything with import media. Is a zip file. How do I export this? I don't have export. There was a way to export all the data and to send it to you, or you to send it to me. So we need to clarify this part of the zip. Then the preview is very bad, because the preview is making a flash movie that is moving very slow. Well, it's not good. And the render is making a MP4 movie. So maybe we can have, instead of a flash movie, to have a MP4 movie, like a preview, because the time is similar, only the result is very bad with flash. So instead of giving a window with a flash movie, can give a window with a MP4 movie, something with 16 frames per second, very nice, easy to move, easy to use, and this preview is really bad. So to change the preview, like this, the preview will be not, we don't see this, we only click this, but open here and we see it. Okay, that's it. Well, are the last fixing changes to have all optimized to work, and then the next chapter is almost the closing, some little things, but it's very close. Thank you very much.